Hi there. Today is Friday, February 20th, 2026. Before I launch in to my many videos on a daily basis, I would like to explain a few things to you about who I am and what I've been through. I'm about to tell you a summary of my life path, and I'm telling you this not for you to feel sorry for me, because everything that I've gone through in life has forced me to reach deep inside of myself and rise. And I wouldn't trade it for anything, because the person it has molded me into, the person that now sits in my house, the person that is in front of you in this video right now, has taken each and every one of those experiences. Some of them were nightmares, some of them were difficult, but they all happened, in my opinion, for me to rise. And rise I did. In the year of 2000, I decided that I had had enough of my marriage. My husband was abusive, physically, emotionally, verbally. He had knocked me down to zero self-esteem. And I had to make a decision. I had two children, aged 10 and 7. I had to make a decision in that year, because I felt like if I didn't step out of that relationship, I wasn't going to make it very long. So with the help of my family, I packed up and I moved out. I had expected to find peace. And what I actually found was a real life nightmare. He made my life miserable. He made my children's life miserable. And I was reeling in despair, anxiety through the roof. I really didn't have the finances to get myself some help. So I turned to the internet. I started to research, how can I help myself? I started to research things about him, what made him tick. And I did this for years. And I very slowly, baby steps, step by step, day after day, began to help myself in the process of healing. Every once in a while, I would, work on the side, and I'd be able to go to energy healers, and they were great. And once in a while, I attended a healing session at a woman's shelter, and that was great. That helped too. But for the most part, it was me trying to figure out how I'm going to heal myself, how I'm going to get through this. All I remember is a mantra that I created way back then. And when I would fall into despair, which could happen anytime, I could be at the arena watching my son's hockey, I could be driving down the road, my ex-husband could be yelling and screaming at me, my kids could be yelling and screaming at me because they were in turmoil as well. And I created this mantra: I want to be happy. I intend to be happy. I am happy. I am happy. I am happy. I surrendered and released a lot of stuff to the universe. My spiritual awakening was in full force. And somehow, some way, I got through it. And it took years. Actually, it took decades, but the process that I created, I decided to create a program called Roadmap to Freedom. The steps that I took, small steps that small steps that led to steps, and those steps led to strides, and those strides led to me running right into a new life. Was it easy? No, but nothing worth having is easy. I believe a lot of it was shadow work, looking within, not without. Why did I crumble and fall and shake every time that man came close to me or spoke to me or was yelling at me? It was because I was programmed. I was so much in fear, but I had to face that fear, because if I didn't face that fear, I was falling and I would have crumbled, and I had no intention of crumbling. That's when I took on my own personal mantra of, if it is to be, it's up to me. And I had 2 children depending on me, and there's no way I was going to let them down. So it's funny because I went through that, well, not funny, it's odd that I went through that process, and I ended up moving out of my hometown because he did a huge smear campaign on me. People that I'd gone to school with, people that I grew up with, were walking by me in the mall or walking by me downtown, not even looking at me, thinking that I was the worst of the worst woman walking the streets. So, I was trying to heal. I was trying to grow. I was trying to become the best that I could be. And I wasn't able to do that with people surrounding me, judging me. I could do it now. I walk into my hometown now and I couldn't care less whether they talk to me or not. Great. You want to say hi? Great. You don't? Psst, have a nice life. But I left town, and I started a new life. I created a new beginning, far, far away from my hometown. And I've been moving around ever since, and I think I have actually finally found my permanent home in Northern Ontario. I'm starting to make some contacts here. I'm starting to make some friends, and they're like-minded people, and I'm really open to that for the first time in 2 decades, because I've kind of been a bit of a groundhog with my family, and continuing to heal, continuing to grow, continuing to rise. So what I'm going to begin tomorrow are short videos of the steps that I took, one baby step at a time, to create a new life, to create a new me, to rise and find my worth, to figure out where I belonged in the world, and to reach out and help other people. So even though this program was created through my experience of an abused woman, I believe at this time on earth, it can actually help anyone that's looking to create freedom in their life. Men are abused too. And we're currently being abused, in my opinion, by those in power. So we're all being beaten down. We're all, not all of us, but the majority of us are having financial difficulties, especially if you're raising a family. The wages are low, the food is high, the rent is crazy. I mean, we're living in very, very difficult times. So what else do you have to do with your time? But hey, maybe rise a little bit. Do you want to work on yourself? Because I believe that really, truly, we have to look within, not without. Just because somebody is yelling and screaming at you doesn't mean that you have to respond. Do you want to respond? Go ahead. But you don't have to attend every argument that you're invited to. Why would you give anyone any space or time out of your life if they're acting erratically? That's where I am now. Somebody wants to start on me, I'll say, have a nice life, and I walk away. And, a lot of people think that that means I'm a coward. But I feel that it means I have grown to the part in my life where I don't have to engage with something like that. I am a huge advocate for freedom, a huge advocate for peace and harmony. When I left my abusive marriage in the year 2000, I had a dream. And that dream was to live a life full of love, harmony, and joy. And honestly, I believe 25, 26 years later, I've reached that plateau. And I'm telling you, it's been a lot of work, and it continues to be a lot of work. We always have to do our shadow work. There's so many emotions inside of us from the day we were born, things we don't even know about. So that's enough of that. As I said, I didn't tell you that story so you'll feel sorry for me. Please don't say, oh, I'm so sorry. Honestly, I'm grateful. I'm grateful to him, I'm grateful to his family, and I'm grateful to every person that ever tried to take advantage of me, that ever tried to knock me down, that actually pushed me down, that did things that were in my world terrible, because I don't understand how people can do that to other human beings or even animals. I don't understand that. I struggle with that, but hey, live and let live. So my point is, I have reached a plateau. I don't live in the past anymore. I live in the present. And I'm grateful for the past because it brought me to this present day where I'm beginning to do exactly what I love, how I want to do it, and when I want to do it. So if you want to join me and watching the videos, please do. So for today, have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I hope you look forward to the many videos I'm going to put out every day for the next few months. Namaste.